Hi everyone, Tracy Huff here, the Confidence Coach with Family Martial Arts Academy, and I wanted to bring to you this presentation about self-discipline. I know a lot of times in the martial arts school, families are bringing their kids to us so that we can help with the self-discipline. So I wanted to give you guys some ideas, you being parents or professionals, 7 ways that you can master self-discipline. So let's get started. So how often have you guys waited till the first week, month, or year and say, I'm going to do this, I mean it, I'm done, and then you don't do it because life happens and it's easier to do what you've always done than to do something new, right? So if the answer to that is plenty, you're not alone. That's why New Year's resolutions are a thing, right? But the good news is that you can get off of the pesky roller coaster. You can get on your feet and you can start to make some steady progress, but we've got to commit to these 7 things, right? So thing number 1, not a new concept. Start with your why. Now, the first step is to know why you've chosen your goals. And sometimes what we think our why is and what it actually is are 2 very different things. They can't be superficial reasons. They're just not going to be strong enough to help you strive and go for something new. And you have to really identify that deep emotional cause that's going to resonate with you in some meaningful ways. So I'm going to share with you my big epiphany about my why. So I do martial arts. I love martial arts. I love being a student. I love being a martial arts instructor. I love what martial arts does for me because it continues to push me to grow. And so the confidence that we get to build with our students is what really kind of juices me about being a martial arts instructor. And so that's what I thought my why was. Like, I love it, I love seeing the confidence. But I was doing some courses, and I was doing actually a course on speaking, and it was talking about this very thing. And it made me realize that my why about confidence didn't start with me being a martial artist. My why with confidence started when I was 18. I was in the Army, and I was stationed overseas. And I met a wonderful man who is now my husband, but was not my husband at the time. And I had gotten pregnant. I was 18 in a foreign country. I'd gotten pregnant. And your first thing is to think, what was me? And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. It just depends on how the age of the person when you ask me it. But my family decided to disown me. And when I say disown me, I mean they acted like we were Italians and would not say my name, acted like I was never born. And so during this one webinar, my epiphany came to me that the reason that it's so important to me to build confidence is because in that moment, I felt like I was thrown away. I felt like the people that were supposed to love me and the people that were supposed to be with me no matter what, at the first sign of me doing something, and I really mean the first sign of me doing something, I did follow all the rules of not doing what they expected me to do. They just discarded me and acted like I didn't exist. And it's a hard thing for me to really realize because, it's been a few years since I was 18. And, I moved on. I have a wonderful life. I have wonderful kids, wonderful business. I do what I love. I have all these great things, but really uncovering that, I'm still vulnerable to that. I mean, that still is a place I don't even want to share it. But when it became apparent to me that is why building confidence is so important to me, it made all of the Sundays that I have chosen to work and all of the times and doing these presentations and putting myself out there in a way I wasn't comfortable worth it. So I share that story, and we've also provided an additional resource to kind of help you ask yourself the questions, and you can download it at that link. But, losing weight, the example here is if you want to lose weight just to be slim, so what, right? But if you have to do it for health reasons, that's a different thing. If your doctor tells you if you don't do it, you're going to die, different thing. If you know that you need it to raise your kids, different thing. So just make sure that you really take the time to investigate that and figure it out. Okay. Step number 2, delay, don't deny. So sacrificing some short-term pleasure for your long-term gains is going to be a must. Like I mentioned previously, I chose to work a lot of Sundays to create this presentation and some of the other things that I've been creating. So it is a sacrifice because Sundays are like, they're my only days off. But I chose to take that time to work on my business and really create tools and resources and guides to help the people like me, the ones that maybe feel like they were thrown away and that they need help with their confidence, or they need help with their purpose, or they're looking for a community of people who will help build them up and help them find the people that they want to be. Okay. So you have to make these moderate, sustainable sacrifices, and you get to plan your rewards so you have something to look forward to. For me, personal reward is reading science fiction for pleasure. That's my guilty pleasure, just reading for reading's sake. Or I also like to do crafts. I like to play with new things and sew, and so those are my rewards, so that when I take that time, I don't feel so guilty, right? So a smaller term goal is to stick to your diet plan during the week. Is to stick to your diet plan during the week, and then reward yourself with a Sunday, or reward yourself with a treat that you may have normally don't do. All right. So make sure that you reward yourself for the sacrifices. You set specific things to get done so that you can motivate yourself to do these things. All right. Number 3, reduce your options. Okay. So reduce the number of choices that you can make to improve efficiency. So Barack Obama, Mark Zuckerberg, and Steve Jobs wear the same clothes each day so they don't have to think about what to wear. You can clear your cabinets of food that are not on your diet plan. You can clear your desk of anything not required to complete your work. Just give yourself the optimal environment to do what you set out to do, so you have less squirrel moments and less moments not doing what you set out to do. It's just setting yourself up for success. So take the time to analyze where you find yourself going astray, and then take the steps to eliminate those. All right, number 4, visualization. Now, this might be a little hoo-hoo-y for some of you, but it is really, really important, because as the way our bodies and our brains work, you get what you focus on. We knew this in martial arts. I always tell the kids when we're teaching a spinning kick or a back kick or something, that your foot's going to go where your eyeballs are. And it's true. We get what we focus on. So use that to your advantage. Make that one of the things that you get to do. So makes sure that you know where you want to end. Like, what does that look like? Because sometimes we just get so focused on doing and being, we don't even really focus on what we want to create. And sometimes when we get there, it isn't even what we wanted. So make sure that you visualize what success looks like. You know that it's what the steps are going to be. You know what you're going to do, how it's going to be created. The one thing I would add to this is you've got to like feel it. You can't like see yourself doing it. You have to be in that moment. So if you're walking on a beach, like feel the sand, smell the ocean air, you know, look at, like, be in that moment. So take the time. Sometimes I'm morning people, sometimes do it at night. I kind of like to do it in the mornings when I start my day. And see yourself doing and taking the steps that you need to do to get where you want to go. And then visualize and feel how you're going to feel after you get there. All right. It's an important step. Step number 5, self-care. This is a big one. I started this process with self-care because I was on a journey of myself, noticing how often I didn't take care of myself because of other people's wants, needs, and desires. And you have to be able to feel good and feel well so that you can perform at your peak. Right? And you also have to make sure that you're meeting your needs. And by meeting your needs, it's getting in the stuff and doing the things that you want to do. So eating well, exercising regularly, staying hydrated, getting enough rest, planning your downtime, making sure you're enjoying the life that you have already created, and being grateful for that life is so important. So we have a guide here for you on how to guide for putting yourself first. It'll give you some ways to start, because I know for me personally, when I first started taking care of myself, I had to draw lines and I had to draw boundaries, and it's still not easy. It's still not easy to do, because I still want to help people and I still want to do things for other people, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing for me to do, if that makes sense. So check out that guide and make sure we get that done. Step 6. This is another challenging thing because we are our own worst enemies. We are our worst critics. We're the meanest people. We are the meanest to ourselves. So you have to change the way that you're speaking about your tasks and goals, right? The example on this slide is, I dread having to go to work today, or I have to, I've got to, versus I'm lucky to have a steady income. I get to work out today. I get to teach. I get to do things. So you're changing some small words and the way that you're looking at things will really, really help. So glass half full, Pollyanna, however you want to call it. Describe the positive, avoid the negative. Sometimes that's hard, right? So sometimes we've got to dig deep, but taking the time to watch what you're saying and even thinking is, again, so important. So we have a checklist for you here on how 25 ways that you can keep things positive and make that difference in your life. Okay. And then last but not least, number 7, identity shift. What kind of person has already achieved your goal? Like, what kind of person are you to have achieved that goal? So identify the traits of that type of person, and then you have to start seeing yourself as that person. So you have to start seeing yourself as the successful person. I know Tony Robbins, I can't remember what program, but years and years ago talked about, like, if you're not a smoker, then you have to say, what I'm not a smoker. Smokers don't do this. Or if you, and even when you're fitness and your health, fit people do this, and start seeing yourself as a fit person. So again, these are all like maybe really, really new, and do not get overwhelmed. So we've got a guide for you on how to start on your road to success with your small habits, like changing very small things to get you on the road, because it's all about how we begin. The ending will take care of itself as long as we're consistent and we begin it. And so that's why I included this guide in here. So, the example on the slide is the kind of person who runs $1 million business might get up early every day. And therefore I wake up early every morning to work on my business. It's just who I am, right? You'll hear everybody use, that's just who I am, in the negative connotation. So this one we want you to use in a positive way. Like, start deciding, I am the kind of person that gets up early. I am smart. I am intelligent. I easily and quickly put things together and make them in my business. For my martial arts career, I started when I was in my 30s. I think I was like 34, 33. I'm 29 now, if that tells you what kind of math I do when it comes to my age. But when I was first starting to do spinning kicks, man, I just couldn't do them without falling over. I mean, I would lose my balance. I would, like, I don't know. They were horrible. And so I would got into the habit of, every time I fell over, I would stop and use my favorite line from Firefly. If any of you guys are Firefly fans, I am a leaf on the wind. I am a leaf on the wind. I move with precision, accuracy, and speed. And then I would try it again. And I would keep doing that until now I am a leaf on the wind. And I do move with precision, accuracy, and speed. And they're not anywhere near what they used to be. So have fun with it. Like, take whatever inspires you and then infuse it into who you want to be. All right. So I hope that this program has helped. I hope that we've given you some ideas and some tips and some tools to start mastering self-discipline and start getting yourself moving towards where you want to be. So we've got, if you are in our area, we're in the Fayetteville area, Fayetteville, North Carolina area, and you would like to come try it out and train with us on the mat, that is one of the greatest ways I know to build discipline and confidence. It's, again, one of my favorite things to do. We have a program of 60 Days to Confidence, which you can access there and find out more about. But we also are committed to providing resources and tools whether you live near us or not. And so you can access our free resource library by going to our bit.ly link at FMAA free courses. You'll have to register to get access, but once you're registered, you'll get access to all of the free courses that we have out there. We've got them on confidence, esteem, professional development, personal development, parenting tip. I mean, you name it. If I feel like we need it, I go ahead and create it and put it out there for you guys. So I've enjoyed doing this for you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to meet you guys soon.